The official recorded history of the borderland dates back to 1598 when Juan De Onate led a group of Spanish explorers through our region, creating El Paso del Norte. But in reality, the history of this crossroads dates back much further. So in tonight's Tough Questions, how are local historians dealing with our ancient past?
Let's acknowledge what came before and what came after, because it does span probably eons, right?
There are examples of recorded history in the borderland that date back thousands of years before Europeans began recording this region's history. Waco Tanks State Park in East El Paso County, for example, has thousands of pictographs, works of art painted on the ancient rocks that may date back more than 5,000 years. That's part of the history El Paso County's Heritage Tourism Coordinator, Cynthia Renteria, believes needs to be included when telling the story of our region's past.
How do we, as a county, incorporate the history of the Mission Trail, of El Paso, kind of the central part of El Paso, like downtown, some of our neighborhoods, Waco Tanks, even our Franklin Mountains out in the northeast and west side, right? So we have a lot of historic sites that we need to showcase better.
Renteria says that's now part of her mission, to learn more about the history of prehistoric El Paso and incorporate that into the picture we paint of our region's past.
I'd like to say that we have more than 400 years of history, and I think that what we need to develop and work on is talk about the history that came before the Spanish arrival. So include the indigenous perspective of the area's history with a regional view.
President Biden declared Kastner Range, the former Army artillery testing site on Fort Bliss property, as a national monument last year. That's another site where archaeologists say they found evidence of human presence that could date back 8,000 years. And again, they've discovered ancient pictographs, pottery, and burial sites on the range, although the area remains largely off limits to the public while the U.S. military clears out any unexploded artillery.